thanks. Peter, thanks for helping us out in Dan's absence.
No worries at all.
He is obviously one of the big keys to this game, and he wouldn't. Probably good that he's not here because he wouldn't be telling us that. But you can honestly tell us that his contribution is going to play a really significant role in the way in which this game unfolds.
Yeah, it certainly is. Dan's a very modest player. He certainly wouldn't be pumping his own tyres up if he was here. But he's been a key player for us all year. He's been a significant part of our scoring power. We can score heavily, and he's been a big part of that. So obviously he's a big key for us to score. But by no means we feel we're a one-man team. A lot of work's got to get done up the ground to get the ball down deep in the forward line. We've got to have an ability to win the ball up the ground and through the midfield, and put some pressure on up there to win the ball back when it does come back. So we certainly feel that we've had the ability to do that, especially over the last half of the season. But certainly Dan is very important about making the most of some opportunities that might be 50-50 for some other players. We can certainly turn it on in that respect. So it's certainly a great comfort to have him down there, but certainly by no means we're relying on him to have a big game on Sunday to win.
Mm-hmm. The previous two encounters between the sides, 7 and 5 goal wins, so pretty comfortable, and no doubt you take a great deal of confidence out of that.
Reasonable confidence. Although the last round, Darley were beating us quite convincingly throughout the ground over the first half, especially through the midfield. So, we've had some really terrific games against them, especially this year and the end of last year. We're both very attacking sides, like to take the game on. It's a spectators. A really great spectacle for supporters alike coming in and watch the game. So, while we're confident, we know Darley are confident, and just our wins during the year, we know once we get to finals, it can be different. They'll have a few wins that we will know will play that haven't played us this year. So they'll be a strengthened unit to what they were when we've played them during the year. So. We're certainly aware of that, and certainly know that we need to be very switched on Sunday to get another win.
Mm-hmm. And how's your own player availability?
We've got probably 3 that we'll probably make a final decision on after training tomorrow night. We expect they'll play at this stage. They didn't play last week, but certainly we've made them available. We'll make final decisions on them probably in training tomorrow night.
Are you at liberty to tell us the 3?
Look, the ones that, as I said, the ones that didn't play last week, Dan Tongue, one of our prime midfielders during the year, and one of our most consistent. He didn't play last week. He pulled out late with some soreness in his back. We just felt we didn't want to risk him last week and give him the week off because he was reasonably sore. He trained last night and trained very well, so we'll just keep an eye on him tomorrow night, make sure he gets through, but we expect him to play. Brent Fitzpatrick was a late withdrawal last week as well. We're certainly expecting him to play as well.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the forecast for nice fine weather, which is obviously welcomed by everybody, do you think that's going to suit you guys more so than Darley? Or?
I think it'll suit both of us. I think it'll enhance the games that we've had in the past. We're fairly quick moving, ball moving sides, as I said, and we do like to attack. So I think that will only enhance that game plan for both. Certainly be a shock to the system, I think, the hot weather after the last 6 weeks we've had. I know just a training this week, you can see the guys blowing a little bit more to the increased heat level. So it's going to be another step up again on Sunday. We know it's going to be, in terms of weather, it's going to be chalk and cheese from what we've experienced over the last probably 4 or 5 weeks.
Thank you.
It's real sort of rivalry this game, hasn't it? Especially the last couple of years. It's just sort of developed. And the games this year, the scoreboard, it doesn't look that close, but it's been really ebb and flow, and Darley have led in a lot of those games. And a history of playing really close, great games of footy. Is that what you're expecting again this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's nothing specific that's probably built a bit of a rivalry up. It's just that we've played some good footy against each other. We've been lucky enough to get the points this year both times, but certainly at no stage in the game were we in a position that we knew we had the game won. we know Darley can actually score fairly heavily and score quickly. So at no stage do we ever think when we're playing Darley that the game's won. And I think we've had as two clubs, we've had some grand finals in the reserves as well over the years as well. Some good battles there. So I guess not only senior footy, reserves footy, we've built up that rivalry, but certainly we feel like we match up reasonably similar against Darley. And I think those great games that we've had, especially in the last 18 months, have sort of put a stamp on that rivalry.
Do you think a lot of it comes down to stopping their out-and-out gun footballers? They've probably got Michael Six, they've got the Edwards boys, and Shane O'Brien, I think, might be available this week. How important is it? Is that what it's about, stopping their absolute gun footballers? Is that your main aim?
Yeah, with any side, obviously you've got to take note of their top liners and address them accordingly. You mentioned Jake Edwards. He's someone that you need to be absolutely aware of where he is on the ground at all times. That's the onus is on not only players on the ground but us as coaches on the side to make sure that we're aware of that. Shane O'Brien we're expected to play. His experience is unparalleled. He's probably one of the most experienced players in the BFL. Even though he might have played a lot of games this year, he certainly, with his experience and ability levels, has got the ability to really take the game on and turn the game forward. Nathan Jackal is someone we rate really highly as a club internally. He played a great game against us last time as well. It's never really out of the action and tends to get a lot of footy and it's very aerobic, has a big aerobic capacity. So there's some of the top lines that we need to be aware of, but we certainly don't think they fall away either. Rod's a fairly smart coach. He normally mixes it up every time we've played. He's normally mixed it up, so we've got to be ready for anything. They do run hard, and spread hard. So we've got to be mindful of the fact that while they have got some really good players at their top end, they are pretty strong across the ground and reasonably tall, and we're going to have to put a fair bit of thought into how we're going to play them and try and execute that as well as we can on Sunday.
And how much of an advantage do you think it is playing here at Eastern Oval as opposed to if the finals had been scheduled and you were playing at Darley Park? How much does that weigh into your favour?
I think every club likes to play in their own surroundings. I think there's just something about it that you may feel more comfortable, but that can be a double-edged sword. You can lull into too much comfort. We've traditionally played well at Darley anyway. We like playing there. It's a ground that suits us. It's normally fairly dry, fairly wide and fairly open, so it suits some of our younger running players as well. So although we're glad to be playing here at the Eastern Oval, we certainly didn't hold any fear about going down and play at Darley because our track record suggests that we do play quite well there. Once we get to finals, we said 2 weeks ago when we knew we were playing Darley, what happens. Double chance, no double chance. Once you get to finals, you've got to win and keep winning, and you've got to win wherever you're playing. So that's pretty much the attitude that we take into the final series.
How does it work out? Because you pretty much guaranteed you're going to be playing Darley this week. You probably knew 2 or 3 weeks ago. How much difference has it been that you've had so much time to focus on this game in particular?
Well, I wouldn't say that. We had one game to win, and we certainly pushed last week with Bacchus Marsh. So, possibly, we've been thinking about it a little bit, knowing that where we're going to finish. But we certainly didn't want to drop our last game because we knew our home final was, up for grabs. So we certainly didn't want to drop that and leave it to percentage to decide. So, having said that, I'm sure Darley are the same. They've probably put a bit of planning into us as well. They're probably, missing out on the points this year. They're probably going to change it up a little bit and do a few things differently, I think. So I think, although we've thought about it, the real planning probably started, after the game on Saturday against Bacchus Marsh.
And are you expecting them to throw something completely different at you this time because you have beaten them twice this year? Or are you expecting them to play a fairly similar sort of game plan to what they've done previously?
Oh, who knows? Look, as I said, Rocket, he's a fairly smart operator. you know, and he has varied it up a little bit when we've played them. So look, you know, anything's possible. We'll deal with that on Sunday. I'll be expecting, maybe some positional changes at certain times, maybe starting the game differently. Who knows? We may do the same thing. So we just come on Sunday to expect the unexpected and deal with it as it happens.
Thanks, mate.